What is mirror trapping? Can you be trapped in a mirror? Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Mirror series. In today's video, we're going to explore one of the most unsettling and mysterious aspects of mirrors in the spiritual world. What is mirror trapping? Can spirits or souls really be trapped in a mirror? This is a chilling theory that suggests mirrors aren't just reflective surfaces. They may be portals to another realm where souls can get stuck. Mirrors have long been feared and revered for their reflective nature. From ancient cultures to modern-day superstitions, people have believed that mirrors are more than just objects. They are energetic conduits that can link the physical and spiritual realms. In this video, we'll dive into how the theory of mirror trapping works, explore what happens when souls become trapped, and examine the spiritual consequences of leaving a mirror uncovered during important moments, such as after death. What is mirror trapping? Mirror trapping refers to the concept that a spirit or soul can become ensnared in a mirror's reflection, unable to move on to the afterlife or return to its physical body. This theory suggests that mirrors act as more than just reflective objects. They are spiritual conduits or gateways that can capture and hold souls. The core idea behind mirror trapping lies in the belief that mirrors don't just reflect light, they reflect energy. This energy is often thought to include the soul or spiritual essence of a person. In this sense, mirrors are considered portals to other realms, especially the spiritual and astral worlds. But the chilling question arises: what happens if a soul gets trapped in the mirror? Could the reflection anchor the spirit to the physical world, preventing it from crossing over? Let's look at the theory in more detail. How do mirrors trap souls? Mirrors as portals between realms. Many cultures believe that mirrors are more than just objects that reflect light. They are spiritual portals. Mirrors provide a reflective surface where energies, including spiritual energy, can pass between the physical world and the spiritual realm. The idea is that spirits or souls, upon death, may attempt to cross into the afterlife. However, mirrors, being reflective in nature, can interfere with this journey. The soul may see its own reflection, which creates confusion and prevents it from moving on. In some cases, the reflection of the deceased may even cause the soul to linger, becoming trapped in the mirror as it is unable to find its way to the afterlife. Reflection as an energy anchor. Mirrors do not just reflect physical appearances, they can also reflect energy, including the energetic signature of the soul. When a person dies, their soul is supposed to leave the body and transition into the spiritual realm. However, the mirror, with its reflective nature, can act as an anchor for the soul. The soul's reflection can create a psychic loop, tying the spirit to the physical world. Instead of moving on, the soul becomes trapped in the mirror's reflection, unable to continue its journey. The confusion between realities. The confusion caused by the mirror is significant. When a person dies, their soul is supposed to move beyond the physical world, but the mirror reflects the energy of that person, including the essence of their spirit. In some beliefs, the mirror's reflection can act as a misleading image, keeping the soul rooted in the physical realm. It's as though the soul becomes disoriented by its own reflection, not realizing that it is dead. The belief is that this energetic loop keeps the soul trapped, unable to cross over to the afterlife. 1. The haunted mirror of the Victorian era, family folklore. In the late 1800s, a Victorian family in England had a large full-length mirror that had been handed down through generations. The mirror, an heirloom passed from mother to daughter, was said to have mysterious origins. It had once belonged to a relative who had tragically passed away under mysterious circumstances. The family was always hesitant to speak of the mirror, as strange events had been reported around it, but the stories were whispered through the generations. One night, the daughter of the family, Edith, who was about to be married, decided to use the mirror in her bedroom to prepare for her wedding. When she stood in front of it, she noticed that her reflection was delayed. The reflection in the mirror seemed to move slower, like it was out of sync with her own actions. Suddenly, she saw the face of a woman standing directly behind her, her features twisted in agony. When Edith turned around, no one was there. The mirror seemed to distort, as if the woman's reflection was struggling to escape. This frightened Edith, but she didn't think much of it at first. However, over the course of the next few days, she began to feel an overwhelming sense of being watched. She could hear faint whispers from the direction of the mirror, though no one was around. As the wedding day approached, the sensation of being watched grew stronger, and Edith's health began to deteriorate. She felt disoriented and weak. Her family, noticing the sudden change, decided to cover the mirror to protect her. As soon as the mirror was covered, Edith's health began to improve, and the eerie presence in the room faded. The family believed the spirit of the previous owner, the woman who had passed away under mysterious circumstances, had been trapped in the reflection of the mirror. The act of covering it allowed her soul to be freed. To this day, that family keeps mirrors covered during mourning, knowing that mirrors can hold the energies of the past and even trap souls who haven't crossed over. 2. The mirror of the lost soul, Native American folklore. In Native American folklore, there are many stories about how mirrors and reflective surfaces can be dangerous portals to the spirit world. One particular legend involves a young man named Taka who, after the death of his beloved, found a mirror in an old abandoned cabin near his village. This mirror, unlike any he had ever seen, seemed to reflect not just his image, but something deeper, a distorted version of his own soul. Taka, grieving deeply, became fixated on the mirror, staring into it for hours each day. Slowly, he began to feel as though the reflection was no longer his own. The reflection in the mirror appeared to be empty, and over time, it started to show a shadowy figure, someone who looked like him, but with darker, more hollow eyes. Every time Taka looked into the mirror, he could feel his connection to the physical world slipping. It was said that the mirror reflected his soul, but it also reflected the energies of the spirit world. As he continued to gaze into it, Taka became weaker and began to lose his sense of self. In his desperation, Taka sought the counsel of a wise elder in his tribe, who immediately understood the danger. The elder explained that mirrors can trap the soul of the living, and that Taka had become disconnected from his silver cord, the spiritual tether that connects the physical and astral realms. The elder told him that he must cover the mirror and bury it in the earth to prevent the spirit of his lost love from trapping his soul. When Taka followed the elder's advice and buried the mirror, he reported feeling a weight lift from his shoulders, as if the spiritual confusion had been cleared. From that day forward, Taka warned others in his village about the dangers of mirrors and how they can become portals for lost souls. It became a common practice in his tribe to cover mirrors during morning rituals and never allow mirrors to be used for scrying unless there was a specific spiritual purpose. 3. The Haunted Mirror in the Mansion, Family Tale. In a secluded mansion in the outskirts of a small town, there was a large antique mirror that had been passed down through generations. The family that owned the mansion was wealthy, but they were also known for their strange and eerie traditions, especially when it came to death. One night, the eldest son of the family died in a mysterious accident, and the family immediately began the mourning process. As was the custom in the family, the mirror was covered after the death, just as they had done for every relative who passed. However, this time, the eldest son's reflection refused to disappear. According to family legend, the son had become trapped in the mirror. The family began to hear disturbing noises from the room with the mirror. Footsteps echoed, and faint whispers could be heard coming from the direction of the glass. Despite the fact that the mirror was covered, the presence of the son's spirit was still felt in the house. The family claimed that whenever they passed the mirror, they could feel an overwhelming coldness, as if the mirror held onto the soul of the deceased, unable to let it go. In their grief, the family consulted with a spiritual medium who explained that the mirror had become a soul trap. The son's unfinished business and desire for vengeance had anchored his spirit to the reflective surface, trapping him in an eternal loop. The medium recommended that they burn the mirror in order to release the soul. The family reluctantly followed the medium's advice, and when the mirror was destroyed, the spiritual disturbances ceased. This family's tale became a cautionary story in the town, warning that mirrors, when left uncovered, have the power to trap souls and hold them in this world, causing distress and haunting the living with their unsettling energy. 4. Chinese folklore, the mirror of lost souls. In Chinese folklore, mirrors are often seen as spiritual tools, with the ability to reflect the soul and even trap spirits. According to one popular tale, a merchant named Zhao found an old ornate mirror in a remote market in the countryside. Intrigued by its beauty, he took it home and placed it in his bedroom. However, Zhao began to notice strange occurrences. Every night, the mirror would show a different reflection. At first, it reflected his own image, but then, it began to show shadowy figures, shapes that seemed to move and shift, almost as if they were trying to reach through the glass. Over time, Zhao became more and more disturbed by the mirror, as his reflection began to distort and appear different, as if his soul was being pulled away by an unknown force. After seeking help from a local spiritual healer, Zhao was told that his mirror had become a soul trap, a reflection of his own life force that had become distorted by the energies around it. The healer explained that mirrors in Chinese folklore were believed to be able to hold the soul or even trap spirits that had unfinished business, unable to pass into the afterlife. To release the trapped soul, Zhao had to destroy the mirror. After the mirror was shattered, Zhao reported feeling a sense of peace and clarity that he had not felt before. The family lived in peace after the mirror was gone, but they never forgot the dangers of leaving a mirror unchecked, especially one that had been connected to the spirit world. The spiritual impact of mirror trapping. The impact of a trapped soul is not just a matter of confusion for the spirit. It can also have serious effects on the living. Here's how mirror trapping can manifest in both spiritual and psychological disturbances, psychic disturbances, and haunting. A trapped spirit may attempt to reach out, communicate, or make its presence known. Those living in a house with a mirror trapping a soul may experience psychic disturbances such as feeling watched, hearing whispers, or noticing cold spots near the mirror. These disturbances can escalate into full-blown hauntings, where the trapped soul, frustrated with its inability to move on, begins to interfere with the living. Some reports suggest that mirrors act as magnifiers of spiritual energy, amplifying the restless energy of a trapped soul, which may manifest as poltergeist activity. Emotional and psychological strain. People living in a space with a trapped spirit might experience emotional disturbances as well. Feelings of anxiety, unease, and unexplained fear may increase. Some have even reported feeling energetically drained or psychically attacked by an unseen force linked to a mirror. If a soul is unable to move on, the energetic imbalance it creates can cause psychic interference, leading to confusion, depression, or even nightmares. Spiritual interference. The mirror, acting as a spiritual gateway, can also invite unwanted entities into the space. These entities may not be the trapped soul, but could be malevolent spirits that take advantage of the open portal to enter the physical realm. This can lead to further spiritual disturbance and can cause significant emotional strain for the living occupants. How to prevent or release a trapped soul. If you suspect that a mirror in your home has become a trap for a spirit, here's what you can do to release the trapped soul and prevent any spiritual interference. Cover the mirror. The first step in preventing or releasing a trapped spirit is to cover the mirror. This simple but powerful action can help close the energetic portal that the mirror represents. Covering the mirror with a cloth or blanket prevents the reflection from continuing to capture the soul's essence. This act of closure can help the spirit find peace and move on. Spiritual cleansing. Perform a spiritual cleansing of the space. Use sage, palo santo, or salt to clear the area of negative energy. Walk around the space, particularly near the mirror, and visualize the mirror's energy being sealed off, ensuring that no spirits remain attached. Guiding the spirit. If you believe that the trapped soul is still present, you can guide it toward the afterlife. You might try using meditation or prayer to call upon benevolent spirits or spiritual guides to assist the trapped soul in crossing over. Candles or offerings left near the mirror can also help to create an environment of peace and release for the spirit. Sealing the portal. After removing the mirror's ability to act as a portal, be sure to seal the space spiritually. Use protective symbols, crystals, such as black tourmaline or selenite, and affirmations to reinforce the closure of the mirror's energetic doorway. You can say, "I now seal this portal," releasing any energies or spirits that have passed through this mirror. This mirror is now closed and protected. Removing the mirror. If possible, remove the mirror from the space. Mirrors are reflective surfaces that create energetic exchanges. Moving the mirror out of the house completely will prevent it from becoming a portal for any future spirit encounters. Mirror trapping is a chilling concept that speaks to the idea that mirrors can hold souls, trapping them in a reflective state, preventing them from crossing over into the afterlife. Whether a soul is trapped by confusion, emotional attachment, or the reflective nature of the mirror, the result is the same: spiritual disturbance for both the deceased and the living. By understanding the potential dangers of mirrors and taking the proper steps to seal spiritual gateways during mourning, we can ensure that spirits are released peacefully and that the living are protected from psychic and spiritual interference. In the next video, we'll explore mirrors and children, why young ones are especially vulnerable to the energetic influences of mirrors, and how early exposure can affect their perceptual sensitivity and spiritual development. Until then, take care, and remember, mirrors are portals to unseen realms. Treat them with caution, respect, and protection. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas. 11 times published author and School of Soul has just released one of our most requested deep dives, the Magic and Occult series. This series is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who know there's more going on beneath the surface, behind the media, behind the family, behind the system. This series breaks the spell and hands you the map. The Magic and Occult series includes over 200 videos on 1. Entertainment or ritual. Decoding mainstream media as mass spellwork. 2. Occult families. Spot them. How generational magic and ritual lineage hides in plain sight. 3. Occult symbolism. The signs, seals, and signals used to claim, curse, or command. 4. Esoteric symbolism. Layered meaning, sacred geometry, and encoded messages. 5. Law is magic. How contracts, courts, and language are rituals of power. 6. Spells and spirits. What magic really is, and what happens when you use it. 7. Covens and lodges. Where modern ritual happens, and who's involved. 8. Destiny swapping. How rituals steal timelines, talent, or soul contracts. 9. Energy harvesting. Spiritual parasitism, and how to seal your field. 10. The clairs. Your intuitive senses. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and more. 11. Become magical. How to strengthen your gifts, protect your mind, and wield conscious force. 12. Miracles are real, divine intervention, faith portals, and supernatural reversals. 13. The chosen ones. What sets them apart and why they're always targeted. 14. The black sheep, the generational breaker, often isolated by design. 15. Targeted individuals, spiritual and technological targeting of aware souls. 16. Gang stalking, organized spiritual and psychological warfare. This is the most revealing, most spiritually advanced, and most protective series SOS has ever released. If you've ever felt something was off about this world, this will confirm it and prepare you for what comes next. Your protection begins with knowledge. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault.